Thank you for joining us on our Family First Life Tri-State Serve the People podcast. We appreciate you tuning in, spending your time to develop and grow with us. Follow us, please, on all our social media platforms at Family First Life Tri-State or FFL Tri-State. We love you. Keep listening, and I hope this information is serving you across the country.
Yay! Tri-State Training Day podcast. Here we come. Thank you for joining us today. I got my man, Gabriel, who likes to sing, on with me. And, just crushed 2022, 2021, and just has done some amazing things. And I wanted to get him on because his ability to connect with agents and help them grow and teach and train and develop from a place of passion and a place of care is second to none. So I wanted to get him on. Gabe, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Blessed to be on. And dude, yeah, this is an amazing last year for us, for you, and man, what a year this is going to be. So I'm super excited. Every day I wake up with a smile, man. Doing great.
Well, you should, because your first year, I think, was this your first full year?
Yeah, it was.
First full year in business, you did two things. You were a Hall of Fame producer, which we'll get into, and then you broke Hall of Fame manager in your first full year as well. So let me just break that down for people that may not understand. That's like the 40-40 club in baseball. But that I don't think anyone's ever done that, where they did the Hall of Fame as a producer and the Hall of Fame as a manager. So let's get into that a little bit. But we got a smorgasbord today, so I'm excited, man. But I'm going to let you rip.
They say, Zig Ziglar has a famous saying, you can get anything you want if you help other people get it first. And, the first year in this business, I wasn't a full year. I was more focused on my personal production side, and I wrote less. And I feel like the majority of this year was really me focusing on other agents. And it's one of those things when you're trying to help somebody and you're teaching, I had a teacher who used to always tell me the person doing the teaching is the person doing the learning. And I felt like I grew a lot more as a personal producer, even though my focus wasn't always there. So yeah, dude, I felt like that last month was me just turning it on. Like I felt like I'd been, holding a handicap, the rest of the year. And I was like, I know I can do more. And so I just really busting it out that last month. It felt good.
Now you were at the forefront of boots on the ground, like to a man or a woman that have watched y'all work this year. Everyone takes their cap and goes, Gabe went out and met with people, agents, to teach them sales in his car, flew around the world, flew around the country, flew from state to state, stayed for 2, 3, 4 days in a city, set up shop, hammered down, like just boss stuff. Can you walk us through this thought process of yours to help agents, at the expense of maybe insecurity or at the expense of costs that you're paying out to fly out, and just a selfless approach to helping people? Can you kind of unpack that for our audience so they can understand what you did and how you did it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it started very organically. Like it started, I was here in Northwest Indiana, and I'm getting more and more on the mortgage side. So I was buying up a ton of second chance mailers, and I was getting them anywhere. So I had people at the time, talk about going back all the way back to our first year, hopping on Sean Barnes, Mindy Tibbs, and they weren't close. So I was like, well, hey, if I'm going to buy leads anyway, I'm trying to get these guys going, let me just go buy leads in their area, and I'll kill two birds with one stone. So that's where it started. It really spawned from, you have a guy like Matt Borsch, who just like me, just like Ivan, just like anybody, was hanging on his upline's phone day and night. The first couple months, I remember just training Mindy, and Matt had called me for like the 10th time that day. She's like, does he always call you that much? And I'm like, yeah. Like, he calls me all the time. It was new, figuring stuff out.
Right.
And talking to new agents, especially cold market, that I didn't already have that relationship with, I figured out that the stuff that they were getting hung up on was, number one, the belief, which a lot of warm market already has. Like, my friends knew I wasn't going to lead them astray. So they had at least the belief part down. What really helped overcome that with a lot of cold market was them seeing me do it. And then on top of that, an hour on the phone feels like forever. But I'm driving 12 hours, if I'm working 8 to 8 in my car anyway.
That's strong.
And so between them seeing me sell people, hearing what I'm saying again and again, and between that time in the car, in between appointments, where they're asking me about that appointment, and we're just spending, legitimately somewhere between 8 and 12 hours, them hearing my voice, either talking to a client or talking to them, it seemed like I was jumping over 6 months, of training and all that stuff. Like I was getting to the same place so much faster. So for people who are like, oh, you don't need to, have someone shadow you in the car, because yada, yada, yada. Like, I would agree, you don't need to, but I think we're all trying to get somewhere with speed. So if you could do something, 6 months faster, why wouldn't you do that? So it just made a ton of sense.
That I've never heard it said that way. 6 months. That's a lot of time. Back on your side.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, is that one day or is that multiple days?
For a lot of agents, it's one day. Because, think about it. If you spent, just practically, you got a new agent that you feel is really sharp. You're spending what is a lot of time on the phone. Like 20, 30 minutes can feel like a lot of time sometimes. So to spend, if I was spending an hour a week with an agent, 8 hours, that's 2 months, of communication right there. And then them seeing me and getting to ask pertinent questions. Like, they don't feel like they're leaning on my time, or they don't feel rushed. Like, they're there a lot of times, every time they're there in the car trying to think of questions.
That's true.
Which is like, oh, like, I don't want to waste this time. I want to think and ask you something else. And I'm like, yeah, we got all day, man. So whatever you got.
Right. That's really good. I remember you just brought me back to 2000, like 6, 7 years, when I'm in the car field training agents. I got, what I'm saying? Like, the beauty of that was, you're right. Number one, them seeing you fail, which is, I think, what most people are afraid of. Okay. And I want to get your opinion on that. But them seeing you fail is actually gold. But number two, them seeing you succeed. The car time, which is crazy. And I remember telling agents, hey, listen, because sometimes you get these superhero agents that want to help you close the deal. I'm like, dude. We're going to go into this house. I'm going to go through the whole thing. If you ever feel the urge to, like, butt in, don't, please. I got it. I want you to kind of, you know what I'm saying? And then, but if they ask you questions, please answer. Like, they might ask you where you're from, because I'm field training people from all over. But I love what you're saying with the amount of time that you're collapsing. And you're right. After 12 hours in the car, there are dead times in the car where there's no more information. Like, it is, you get to this place where it is what it is. And that's awesome too. So, but I never heard it said the way you're saying it. Like, I never saw all those benefits, even though I saw benefits. I don't think I saw as many benefits as you're displaying right now. But why do you think more people don't do this? Why do you think that this seems like some hidden gem that really is not. It's old. It's an old way of thinking that needs to become new.
Yeah, I think it's real simple. I think the number one issue, I think there's two main issues. Just and I obviously, we're at the meeting, we talked about it, but I think it's pride and it's fear. The first one, pride, it's especially to new agents, you feel kind of like a superhero, right? They're like, wow, Mark, how'd you do that? And the truth of it is, most of us, we're really just working the numbers, and we are good. We do know what we're doing, but we get humbled on a daily basis. Someone will porch us, someone will say no, someone will hit me with the I gotta think about it. And, I could try to massage that into the head of a new agent and help them understand. And they never really do. But when they see it, they get it. They're like, oh, okay, you sold two people in a row. And then you had two people that told you no, or I got to think about it. And that happens to you too. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I have 8 appointments or more, but we don't want to be humbled that way, because it doesn't, even now it doesn't feel good, but I'm glad that they're seeing it. So that's the number one. And then 2, fear. I think a lot of factors, it's people, we're such creatures of habit. There are agents that are out there, they're scared of the saliva test. We're just scared of the unknown. So when it comes to, is it going to affect my in-home, the way I am in the house? Like, people just let silly little fears like that stop them from doing real common sense things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I got you. Makes sense. But if I were looking to overcome that, what's your advice for them?
I give a few pieces. The very first thing is, and you need to alter your mindset, because you need to look at this, pragmatic. Like, I enjoy this industry. I love it. And I could see myself going out and serving clients long period, but that's probably not what most of us have in mind. So in that case, you need to get to a place where you're training people on a high level, you get other producers. And so whatever that move is, there are going to be activities that are not self-indulgent, that do not appeal to our pride and are not comfortable, that we just need to do. So that's the very first thing. Just open yourself up. 2, I would say, as far as the pride, you really just need to get over yourself. Like Sean Mike says, we go out, we help clients. Like, it's not, does it feel amazing? Of course it does. But hey, let's be honest, there's 21-year-olds doing it, so I think that will help a lot. And then 2, get over the fear. People, just like you said, the one thing some of these top tier agents might need to see is you fail. Like, if I'm telling them, like, hey, dude, I had one agent, like, he's like, tell me all the things you need to fix. And then, like, I had not a great day in the field, and his belief system was through the roof by the end of the day, because he's like, I know, I watch Gabe, I see what he does, I see the training, I see him in the homes, and I'm seeing him running into these situations that I do. And it just, like, a light bulb clicks. So that fear doesn't make sense. And especially on the affecting your personal writing, my biggest days in the field have been with an agent right next to me.
That's crazy. Now, you have really went into your warm market and shared this opportunity at an extremely high level. What made you do that? Like, what was the thought process behind Matt Borsch and Joe Basso and Minnie Tibbs and Sean Barnes, like some of your best friends in the world? What was the thought process behind approaching them about this business?
To be honest, it was just, for me, the most practical thing in the world. Matt was selling lawn care, Sean was selling pest control, Mindy was a realtor, Joe was my sales trainer and the best salesperson I think I'd ever met. And if they're going to be selling anything, they might as well be insurance, might as well be Family First Life. And hey, it might as well be with their real good buddy, Gabe Ericson.
You are a beast, bro. Might as well be with their good buddy, Gabe Ericson. So So it's just leading from this place of straight belief.
Yeah, it was me FaceTiming them after I walked out of a house. Like, it was that simple.
Right. It's crazy. And what's it like watching them all succeed? Because they're all killing it. You know, what's it like watching all of them succeed and reshape thought processes for their families and anchor their lives and their businesses at FFL and grow?
Man, it's hard to put into words. You know, speaking about that same quote from Zig Ziglar, you know, you can have whatever you want in life if you have enough help enough other people achieve it first. I think something that a hidden gem behind quotes like that, and obviously, you know, it's a biblical principle, but on that journey to getting what you think you want, you get things that are so much more valuable. Just seeing the transformation it has on their families and everything you said, like it's such a treasure.
Dude, I love it, man. 2022 goals for you and your team. What is it looking like for 320?
Personal production. I'll say this, I'll never be in the field. I mean, obviously we're blessed with where our agency is. I don't need to be in the field for our agency to run, but I'll never be in the field without an agent in my car. But I mean, I'm gonna go for Hall of Fame again this year, because why not? And then as far as our agency, you know, we have big goals for this year.
Let's go.
And so we got a lot of heat coming, a lot of momentum. Yeah.
I'm fired up, bro.
That's the
goal. Gabriel, who loves to sing, my man. Yo, I appreciate you jumping on. You are a savage, and it's an honor to be in business with you. It's an honor to know you, watch you, see what you're doing. I'm proud of you for all you're doing. You're helping so many people. Thank you for all you do, brother. Appreciate you more than you know.
I appreciate those words. Thanks so much for having me on, dude. It's been a blessing.
All right, everybody. God bless. Another big training day in the books. Let's make it happen. Keep listening. Appreciate you.